guys, it's another day, another Yap session. Welcome back to another episode of Calm in Chaos with your favorite hosts, Malina and Folarin.
Yeah, today we have a very special guest. She is the head of the PAU sports committee. She's a social media influencer, and she's one of my, not one of my free, but one of my classmates. It's Tamilore, aka Bambi. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Of course.
For today's session, we're going to be talking about navigating self-identity and self-esteem. You know, we grew up in this kind of African environment where we feel like some of these topics aren't really spoken about enough. You know, everybody is just kind of like who they are based off of who everyone is around. And like sometimes it feels like they dictate that pace for them, like, oh, you're the troublemaker, or you're the smart kid, or you're the reliable one. Never really a chance to grow, never really a chance to express yourself the way you want to be, because we've all been put in sort of a bubble, right? So like now transitioning into self-esteem, just to break the ice, have you guys ever had any issues with self-esteem?
Yeah, definitely. I think before I came to PAU, especially in high school, I had a huge problem with self-esteem. I had this whole thing where it was either you're too loud or you're too quiet, or a lot of people also used to call me mean. So whenever I meet people for the first time, they'd be like, oh, I thought you were mean. I'm always like, what? No, I'm not. So for a long time I internalized that, and I had such an identity crisis at my young age, and I was constantly always telling myself, I was like, you're too mean, you need to be kinder, you need to be better. Eventually I realized I was not mean. I just had boundaries, and a lot of people are uncomfortable when you set boundaries with them and you don't like let them walk over you. So of course I did have my mean things that I've worked on, but I was not a mean person. That's all I have to say. So,
Your personal experience.
I'm not mean. I'm not.
I plead the fifth.
Thank you.
Same
Okay,
question.
so I would say high school. And then year one of university. Year one of university was a trying time. I'll just put it like that. It was a trying time I feel like I was very much of a people pleaser. So going back to that whole everyone is dictating how I am as a person. I could coordinate myself to be a certain type of Malina for a certain person, so I wouldn't step on any toes and I went back and someone asked me in a fit of rage, like, why you like this? I was not like, I'm acting, and I now broke down. I was like, I'm acting like this because this is how you said you like your friends. I'm acting like I got tired. I was like, you people are confronting me for this thing, but I'm literally acting like how you guys act just to fit in. And then later they were not like, so you don't even know who you are. I said, Jesus. I just had to, pick up the pieces of my self-esteem and just go. And that's not saying they were many. They want that much. I was just like, wow, okay. And I sat and I was like, who actually am I? Like, you have self-esteem, which is that pride for yourself. But when you don't even know
who you are,
exactly. You're like, okay, what are you proud of?
Where do you even start from?
And now I went to little things like, what are my hobbies? What am I good at? What do I like doing? Am I just school, chores? I'm this person's daughter, I'm this person's sister, I'm this person's friend. So like that just... You can't build self-esteem if you don't even have your sense of self.
Like self-awareness also, self-identity.
So high school and year one,
it was horrible. It was so bad.
Trying time.
Honestly, I don't even like. First of all, secondary school students are mean. Let's just be self.
Yes, unnecessarily mean.
Unnecessarily mean, because you could fire you for like the most like unnecessary things. But they're coming into year one. No, I think it was when I got to SS3 that I stopped caring, because I'm at the top of the school. But like, Jesus, like I was called out for different things. I was called out for having big feet. I was called out for having a big head. I was called out for having long fingers. No, this is as a day student. Like I went through this thing as a day student, and like it made me insecure about like who I am or like the things I had. And like it affected my schoolwork at some point. But like I was able to it got pretty bad. It wasn't so much of like bullying. It was just sort of like calling out things that I didn't realize I was insecure about. Now coming into year one, I'm in university. I'm trying to find myself. I'm trying to find me somewhere. And it feels like every year I have to find like a new version of myself, because I'm trying to like fit whatever I feel like that year demands, right?
I hear
So
that,
it's like sometimes I'm an academic weapon, sometimes I'm the extracurricular guy, other times I'm the quiet guy with the mean face, because I also heard that thing of like people saying I'm mean. I'm like, nah, I'm just chilling.
Exactly.
I'm just on my own, but it's just kind of like, so it was when I got to like probably this year, and I'm just like, this is who I am. I'm the academic one, but I'm the extracurricular guy. I don't need to be upset. I don't need to be one of them. I can fit all those boxes. By the end of the day, am I happy with myself? And I feel like these are things that like the more we grow, we still answer these questions, right? And it's just part of life, but it's just important to give ourselves that space to grow, that the time and understanding to grow, and then not let ourselves be in one box. Even if we want to be like, you know how all those stress things are like, you are this person's child, you should act like this, how can you make this mistake, listen, it's not you know,
and going back to giving yourself that space to grow, it also matters with like the space you are growing in. So like your environments can also affect how you think of yourself. So I don't know if it's just me. I feel like it's not just me. Loki, we have taught ourselves that suppressing our accomplishments is being humble. Then when we are actually like, I did that, they're like, why are you being proud?
Exactly.
I'm like,
bragging?
I'm being proud. There's a difference between pride and arrogance. It's when I'm showing up to you and I know you didn't do as well, and I'm like,
you can't do it.
That's when there's like arrogance, and then that whole thing of you pass and everybody should stop and acknowledge that you did this. We get that, but like at the same time, if I do something really good, I should be allowed to feel like, okay, I did this. Like I actually did this. Not that I'll say I did this and they're like, so we'll not get the end of it. I don't understand. If you are bitter that you did not do it, sorry if I'm being mean, but if you are bitter that you did not do it, go and do it. And then when you are proud, we'll be proud of you.
Exactly.
Like a bit of internal anger just came out.
No, I feel like that's even where like that whole comparison thing comes in. Like not even just like amongst your friends, but like even like amongst your siblings and everything. Like the others have like closer age ranges. Like I feel like you're released to it more. But for me, with a huge age gap, like I can be hanging out with my siblings and someone will just come in and be like, oh, they have master's degrees, they have not even finished primary school yet, what are you doing amongst? Why? Like why? So I feel like that adds to it, and like that's why I think we mentioned it in one of our episodes, that like try as much not to compare yourself, because you are your own person, because the more you do it in a negative way, you are suppressing who you are, right? You're not acknowledging that okay, you actually accomplished a lot in spite of the shadow that I think you're in. You know, just have to, like I said, just have to give ourselves that time and space to grow and understand who we are, and then appreciate the type of people we are, because let's be real, everyone is awesome, everyone is really cool, everybody has
their own thing.
Everybody has their own thing. You don't have to force yourself into, you can try out new things, definitely, but don't limit yourself into something, because that's when the hate comes, that's when the sad thoughts comes, that's when the, like all those other things.
I think I relate to that limiting thing very like heavily, because when I started social media, I started just lip syncing videos, like it was for fun, and then I started taking it seriously, and I was doing vlogs and I was doing talking videos, and then I think I made my first ever yap session, and I was complaining about my school. I was talking about how my school doesn't have all these activities for me to do, like, so in this other university, I'm not going to name drop, but in this other university they have so many stores in the university, like even banks and everything. So I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. And I came here, I was like, oh okay, I see how it is. So I was complaining, and then I was also talking about shawarma. So it was like those two things, and it did well. People were like actually engaging with me. I was like, okay, this is fun, let me keep doing this. So I kept making talking videos, and then eventually I started complaining. So it went from light complaining to like you know how you complain about my hair, to complaining about like social structures in the environment. And then all of a sudden people started like placing labels on me, like, oh yeah, she does fight like freedom fighter type of content, or like, oh, she's an activist. And I'm like, hold on, I am not. Hold on, I'm just complaining. And it's like every time people, especially in our country, every time somebody sees somebody that maybe they can speak and they're not scared to speak, they're automatically going to put you on this like high pedestal. And so I haven't made the video yet, but I need to make a video just telling people like, see you, I am a regular school girl. I just have a lot of opinions. I'm very opinionated, and I do my research before I talk about these opinions. So it's not even a thing of I am better than anyone. I always make content in the sense of, please go and educate your own self. This is what I think. So that whole thing of being in a box, I really struggled with that content-wise, because I started feeling like if I put out anything that was not talking videos, I was not enough, or people would not enjoy this. And then with time, I've kind of like found my flow where it's like, if I want to talk, I'm gonna talk. If I want to do fit checks, I'm gonna do you cannot force me to be who you want me to be. Exactly. I've reached my flow state. I'm doing everything, doing whatever I want. So I definitely agree that having your very good self-esteem and having a strong, what would I say, self-identity helps, because if I didn't have that and I was wavering, and then the second I was able to develop that, there's nothing anybody can tell me that will affect my content or affect who I am as a person. I will talk. I'll complain.
Yeah, so another aspect that people, anytime we say self-esteem, people are always thinking of being proud of yourself. But like, one thing my mom used to say is like, you can't be proud of yourself if you don't love yourself, because then you won't be looking at the good sides of yourself to be proud of. So going back to one of the points our boss gave us is some of us grew up in conditional love environments where it's like, if you get like one idea I always is like, what kind of prize is the quietest in the class? So people's down.
Yeah,
you know, there's first position, there's neatest,
most
there's
quiet.
now most quiet. Like, I don't understand.
It's best behaved. Now that got award for
and the best behaved child is always the quiet one that stays and doesn't. Like,
I always wondered why that was the thing.
If they're saying if you're quiet and they tell you something and you just accept it, you are a well-behaved
You're suddenly
child.
well-behaved.
But if you have an opinion and you're talking like, oh, this is not actually how it is, or are you sure this is it? Like, I don't know why our situation is, you guys, she's inspiring me, I'm starting to complain. I don't know why our situation is that if we express an opinion that is different from what someone else thinks, they think negative of us. Like, it's just a different side.
It is. I think the issue is a lot of people don't know how to have conflict. So that's another thing.
They think everything is an argument.
It's an argument.
Yeah,
so it's like,
basically.
if we're talking and you're like, oh, I like the color purple, I'm like, oh, I don't. Immediately it's like, oh, but you must. So they think that conversation is like, by the end of that conversation, I must like purple. It's like, no. By the end of the conversation, I should see why you like purple.
Exactly.
I still don't like it.
And
I
won't see why you don't like purple.
Exactly. Like, we go our separate ways. Like,
that's where that whole agree to disagree comes in.
But over here, especially if you're a girl, it's horrible. I've gone through my fair share.
And then if you're talking to an adult, it makes it very
horrible.
Very weird. Like, just trying to be different, especially like if you're someone that was in quote unquote well behaved. Great
when you're now talking, they think, why are you rebelling or something?
Exactly.
Like that.
I would be like, okay, maybe I should have been rebellious earlier on, right? Maybe that's where you'd have seen it, because now I'm trying to like because I was always the calm, composed. Anything that comes in, I take it, you know, still the emotional kid, but like now I'm actually having my opinions. I'm actually just like, tell me to do something and I'm not just going to think, I'm going to ask you why.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will ask you the rude way, and I'm going to clear.
And I feel like it's conflicting a lot when we reach ages where our parents have to like acknowledge that we are not children, that they just say something and we do it, because before it's like, okay, we might not understand to the full extent of why they say we should do something, but we know it's for our good. But now I've reached an age where my mother will tell me something like, oh, go and do this, and I'm like, Mommy, no, I'm not doing
but
that.
that's the thing.
And then she'll just
I'll be like,
I'm rebelling. And then I'll try and explain to her, like, we've gotten to the stage where you are not telling me what to do.
You can advise me.
Exactly. You can advise me instead of telling me what to do. Just tell me, instead of telling me what to do and like, oh, I should just do it. Tell me what to do and why you think it's beneficial for me. And if I now bring another side because you don't know everything, I love you, Mommy. But December is coming. I'm returning back to that. So I feel like it will cause a lot more when we've reached the age where we're transitioning from children to adults that have our own. Even
as kids, it happens because in our culture, it's like curiosity is they'll beat it out of you basically. Because I remember a lot of times my mom, I told you guys I was a very child. So if my mom is like, oh, I should go and talk to this uncle, if the uncle is saying, how are you doing in school, I say I'm okay. And whenever people ask me questions, I always ask them why. Like, I used to be such a, oh, but why do I have to do that? And it was always like, must you talk back? I'm not talking back. I truly want to know why.
Like, why can't you just...
Because if you think about it, imagine you, like, bring let's say a dog. You bring a dog into this room now, and the dog is going to sniff and try and find out what everything is. That's how children are. No, I'm not comparing people to dogs, but children are very curious. And it's my first time living. If you ask me to sit on this chair, I'll ask you, oh, why do I have to sit on this chair? Because we want to know. And I think we need to learn to destigmatize these things, because in this country, oh my god, Don't get me started on this conversation. Let's go back to self-esteem.
It's really another day, another yap session.
Really another day, another
15-minute yap session.
But I was thinking about, let's try and answer some of the questions, some of the dilemmas.
Okay.
You want to read the first one?
All right. Dilemma 1. Whenever someone compliments me, I immediately deflect or turn it into a joke. If someone says I did well on a presentation, I respond with, I just got lucky, or it really wasn't that great. I genuinely don't know how to accept praise without feeling awkward or undeserving. Ooh.
I feel like it goes back to that whole suppressing our accomplishments is seen as humility. Because if imagine she answered with, oh yes, I actually did that. Someone outside will be like, calm down, no. Let your head not swell.
Let your head not swell.
Let your head not swell. I'm sorry, I will let my head swell.
It's such an annoying phrase. I can't even. But like,
Exactly.
My brother helped me with this actually. So I used to struggle with this a lot. And mine was 2 ways. So the first way was if I complimented somebody and they did not reply. For instance, social media, I would say, oh, you look beautiful. They don't tell me thank you. I'll be like, let me go and delete my comments. I was like, let me delete that. So I was talking to my brother one day and I was complaining like, oh, I complimented this girl. She replied everybody. She didn't reply me. And I was really angry. I was like, that's not fair. What is that now? So he asked me, do you think she's beautiful? I said, yes. Do you like the photos? I said, yes. So why is it that the compliment is conditional where, oh, if she doesn't say thank you, suddenly you want to take it back? You do think she's beautiful. So why are you deleting the comments? And then after that conversation, I was like, oh, okay. Let me go and self-reflect. Because he was pointing out how a lot of people have egos, unnecessary egos, where both ways, if somebody compliments you, they're expecting you to just be like, stop it, I'm not that or that, stop. I am all that. And I think we as people need to learn how to accept that. And I think also people should do more courses on this, because truthfully speaking, nobody knows how to accept compliments. Like, I've not met anyone that I would say, oh, you're nice, you're beautiful, and they'd be like, oh my god, there's 2 extras, and they'll be like, stop it, I'm not. Or they'll get angry, they'll be like, no, don't gas me up, don't gas me up. It's
like, I'm not doing that. Put question mark. I'll be like, me?
Exactly. Like, are you nice to me?
Like that whole thing of like, oh, being an academic weapon. I didn't embrace that thing until I got to like my 3rd year. Like, oh, that's why you did that. I'm like, me that thing happened to me that one time, and I'm still not over it.
And it's worse because I'm dating someone like this. Like, anytime I tell him, oh, you look handsome, like, don't say that, don't say. I'm like, you do. You have to learn how to accept positive things about yourself. And it's because when we grew up, I'm not going to say a lot of people grew up in this environment, but a lot of times these positive things are not like poured into us. So it becomes this awkward thing. For instance, if you've been deprived like jollof rice, and then they start feeding you jollof rice every day, you'll be awkward, like, oh, this is new, this is different. Exactly. So
and going back to that whole they once fed positive things, people need to understand that not giving negative things to someone isn't the same as giving positive comments. Like, if I don't insult you, it's not the same as me complimenting you every day. It's just me not insulting you. I'm just there, like, I just pass you and I smile and I go. That's all. But like, if I pass you and I smile and I'm like, oh, I love how you did your hair, or I love your lip cup, or things like that, it doesn't give that same feeling. And like, when they're like, but I never insulted you, I'm like, yeah, but you never actually made me feel
you didn't reassure me either.
Exactly. Like, not making me feel bad isn't the same as making me feel good. It's just not making me feel bad. You're just leaving me at that level.
I think all I would say for this person, dilemma 1, is if you like your work, like her herself, right? She has to know the type of person she is. I think she's specifying. She gave an example with presentations. I love presentations. So one thing I would tell her is, watch videos on people that present and find out the things you like about those people. Oh, this person speaks eloquently, or oh, this person is confident. And then I'm not going to say mirror yourself after them, but now that you found the attributes you like, you're going to work on those attributes. Because if you have identified what it is you want and you start working towards those things, that's like structure. A lot of times we don't know exactly, like, you can make a reality. A lot of times people don't actually know what they want. Like, I was talking to a friend one day and she was like, oh, she thinks she's doing horrible in life. And I said, for you to think you're doing horrible, that means you have a standard. Who is the standard you're comparing yourself to? She could not give me anybody. And I was like, so how are you doing horrible if there's no standard? So some people's standard is, oh, money. Some people's standard is academics. Once you get that standard, it's easier for you to now start building your self-esteem, because you know, like, okay, this is my niche. Let me not go and be fighting somebody that can sing. I can't sing, go. I cannot sing, go. Please.
Okay, so I'll read the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
The approval addict. I need constant reassurance that I'm doing okay. If someone doesn't reply quickly, I automatically think I did something wrong or they're upset with me.
Yeah.
My self-esteem depends completely on what other people think. I don't know how to feel worthy on my own. It's really like I wrote
Oh man. Do you want to take this one?
I feel like year one Malina wrote this thing.
How did you get over it? This is how you help this person.
Okay, so how did I get over it? I don't want to be that person and feel like I've still not gotten over it. But like, in a sense, and then again, I'm not going to say something like it's not that deep because I have a different sensitivity level to the person.
Yeah.
So for me, I just learned to not care. One thing I told myself was that, let's say in school now, PAU students, if you fall down past 2 seconds, they're not laughing at you again. Think about it.
They will forget.
They will laugh and then they will forget. And I was telling my friend as we were walking to school that after 2 seconds, nobody's going to remember my face from when if you think about it, the only thing they might say is, oh, that's SMS getting 400 level. I don't want to say, oh, that white girl, because they've used that thing to finish me. Jesus Christ. Or that one where it's like that mean girl, or that one that's always frowning her face. You don't know if I'm going through something and I'm frowning, but it's fine. So that whole needing constant reassurance, I try to switch it in my head like, okay, I need reassurance. Let me accept it.
Yeah.
But does the reassurance always have to come from someone else?
Exactly.
Why can't I reassure myself?
Exactly.
So it goes back to that whole affirmation thing. I'm not saying stand in front of the mirror, go in your hair.
It's corny, but it be working.
But
I have to do it.
I've been doing that too sometimes.
I tried it too sometimes, but then there are sometimes that you're really not feeling it.
Fair
so
enough.
you just have to keep saying it
You
to
have
yourself.
to fake it
like,
till you make it, guy. I'm telling
even
you.
that fake it till you make it sometimes.
I'm telling
does
you.
not work,
Let me tell
but
you
like
what to do.
sometimes it works.
Put on Beyonce. Look in the mirror. I'm telling you. Sometimes I have the worst days ever. 2 people, Megan Thee Stallion, Beyonce. I'm okay. I'm okay. That's the thing. I think a lot of people also, this whole approval, a lot of people, as you said, they're looking for external approval. They forget that the first person that should fill you up is yourself. Like, genuinely speaking, when there was a time that my brother told me this, because my brother is the one that shaped me, let me not lie, 2 of them. So he told me this thing called Ikigai, and it's basically a Japanese thing to find your life. So it's like, oh, who am I? What do I want to do? Blah, blah, blah. So he first asked me, he was like, oh, what do I want to do in my life? I said, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. After the conversation, I was like, Jesus, I don't know anything about myself. And it was horrible because at that time, that was my peak TikTok era. So I was always learning more about other people. I didn't know anything about myself. I think this person that is looking for constant reassurance is because you're not grounded in the things you do also. It's like, you know how, let's say I finish talking now. After I finish this sentence, I'll be like, did I do okay? Did I say it? I'm confident in what I'm saying. So I don't need anyone to tell me, you did well, love, because I know deep down that I have done well. I think this person needs to sort of, how will I say it? Listen to Beyonce,
Okay, then for the if someone doesn't reply quickly, I automatically think I did something wrong or they're upset with me.
Yeah.
Now I'm just going to throw this question there. Imagine you're going through something. Don't you get a lot of messages on your phone and then you just don't feel like answering them right now? Is it you don't feel like answering this person in particular?
Exactly.
Or you're just, I'm going through this. Like, each one of us, as vividly as you're living your life, someone else is living their life like just as vividly. So it's like not everything is, and then see at this point I would say don't deep it. If somebody has a problem with you, they will tell you. If they don't tell you, it's not a problem between two of you, it's a problem with them.
Like,
because you have your own problems, I have my own problems, you have your own problems, you have your own problems. If 2 of us are beefing and I'm not talking to you, you have time to go and solve your problem. It's not your problem until I make it your problem.
Exactly.
And if I keep saying, oh, we have a problem, and or if you keep saying it now, we have a problem, and you've not told me, sorry, me, I don't have that problem.
It's you that's the problem.
Like I love you, but if you don't tell me the problem, how are we going to fix it? Exactly. Or do you just want to be angry?
I'll read your mind now.
Okay, now, but so at that whole reply this thing, people sometimes are just very busy. Like if you are busy, you don't reply certain people. People are busy, they don't reply. And if it now goes to they're upset with you, if they don't tell you, my dear, it's not your problem.
I think this person is a bit dependent also. Because one thing you should do is like, because me, I suck at replying now. So if there's anyone in my life that feels like this, I'm so sorry. But the truth, what I would tell them is to always do something with your time. Because I believe we were not made to be having constant communication with these phones. I wish we went back to pigeons. Let me send them a letter. I know it's taking 2 weeks. But all I would say is, I used to have this with my mom. I guess like my mom was always texting me and she would be like, why am I not replying us? I had to call her. I said, see, I love you,
Mommy.
but we don't have to call every single day. I still text my mom every single day, but she's not forcing me to reply on time.
Mommy.
All of that. And the reason why is because my mom has started doing more things for herself. A lot of African parents also don't even do hobbies. My mom has so many hobbies now. She goes hiking.
That's cool.
Find what you love, and that way it will help you stop being dependent on other people's responses.
Okay, so
Fola. The
So-
perfectionism, please.
Okay. Yeah. So let's look at this one. I avoid starting things because I'm scared I won't do them perfectly.
Okay.
I'd rather not try than risk failing publicly. It feels like everything I do has to meet a certain standard, or I'm not good enough.
okay.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to say is that imagine there's this example my dad gave me. This is the standard, and there are steps to the standard.
Yeah.
If you're a perfectionist, how do you want to reach that standard if you're not taking that one step? Even if you take one step and you fall, you will stand up and take the next step. Even if you fall down 20 times on the 20 steps, you will stand up and get there, or you will at least climb it.
Yeah.
So this whole failing publicly, I'm so sorry, but if someone sees that you fail publicly and then you still get up and do it, they're like, they're still doing it.
Exactly.
And then imagine when you now actually get it right, they're like, oh yeah, I saw this person, they continued even after they failed. So it's like that whole avoiding starting things. I think we had an episode on perfectionism about that. So it's like you're a perfectionist, but perfection is not like a state or like one. It's like the constant striving to be
to be
perfect.
better, yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like second
It's like
definition.
I've always been like in the middle of this because it's kind of like I always also have like the points where I always try and reach. Now like there are times where like if I'm not good at something,
Yeah.
I might not go for it. But then either way, like nowadays I'm just like, okay, let me put myself in that position. For example, talking to people has always been 50-50 for me. I can be social today and introverted tomorrow. So like I remember going into my internship, I was so worried about how I'm going to talk to anybody, but like I had to put myself in that position so that worst case scenario, I say my name wrong. If I don't say Folarian, I'll say Felicia or something. Like, I'd be worried about it. Or like even leading group works, for example. Like we've had a lot of group works in our class, and like there are times where like earlier, and I didn't really see myself as a good leader. I probably have like a few good group works or a few bad group works, and those ones I'm the leader. So I'm just like, I don't want to be a group leader again. But like I had to put myself in that position because like, okay, I know I'm a good leader. I just need to work like, okay, what did I do wrong? Did I not assign to the right people? Did I understand my team members well enough? Those type of things. So like, I understand why they want to do things perfectly, but like you wouldn't be able to do something unless you try.
Exactly.
So you need to put yourself in that position where you can. It's very scary, I can tell you from experience. Something that I still don't let me say I go through it every day, but it's still something that pops into my mind once in a while. Like, how am I going to talk to this person? How am I going to talk to that person? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that project? That's a whole different. That's a whole different.
Let's stick to the script.
Let's stick to the script.
Let's stick to the
That's a whole
script.
different topic. But like, moral of the story is like you never know your capabilities unless you try. All of us that do like what we do now, we had to put ourselves in that position, no matter how scary it is. And like, there would always be benefits, whether it's that you're not good at it or you're good at it. It's just
At least
important.
you know what you're not good at.
At least you
or
know what you're not
how
good
not
at.
to do
I also
something.
feel like people are so obsessed with being like a master of something. So you know that saying that's like, oh, a jack of all trades, a master to none. I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. I've realized I love doing makeup. Am I going to be the best makeup artist? No, I'm not. And I'm okay with that. As long as I always tell people, once you have your personal standard, a lot of these things stop bothering you. Like, truthfully speaking, I don't think I dress the best ever. I don't think I have the most amazing but I'm comfortable in myself. Like, it's not a thing of I'm comparing myself to people. And this whole thing of, I think they said something, it feels like everything I do has to meet a certain standard. That's why I just keep asking, what is the standard? Like, once you can identify this, it really helps, because sometimes when you even write these things down or say it out loud, you even be like, I sound so silly. So my own standard is somebody in, let's say, another year that maybe they're always looking happy, because you don't know what everybody's going through. And as they said, please put yourself out there. We only have one life, truthfully speaking.
And in terms of that standard, instead of thinking of how much left you have to go, think of how much you've improved.
Exactly.
So instead of beating yourself like, oh, I didn't get this, but see how you improved.
Just like, one day at a time for me. It really is.
So we are gonna wrap up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So essentially, self-esteem is just like have your sense of self so that you know what to be proud of, and then as you're having that sense of self, accept yourself, build on yourself, love yourself. And if you love yourself and want to drop drug addiction, we have a self-reporting policy in the school. So just come on down or come on up to the guidance counseling unit and just tell yourself, we'll not cast you, you'll not be in trouble. First step to solving the problem is admitting you have a problem.
Amen.
And that's the first step to self-love. Then once you build yourself, you have self-esteem. Are you catching my drift?
Go girl.
Hey.
Go girl.
I get the point.
Yeah. So that's a wrap. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
To our wonderful Tammy.
Thanks, Tammy.
So,
as always, if you have any more questions, any more dilemmas, feel free to drop them on social media. Give us a follow. And see y'all in the next one.
That's the end of the Yap session.
Bye. Check out my TikTok.
Check out her TikTok. Yeah, we have class. All right.